The story begins in the evening inside a tall office building. The next day is Valentine's Day. Jennifer is sitting alone in her office, typing an email to her ex-fiancé, Derek. In the email, she says that she is coming to New York tonight and wants to meet him because she still misses him a lot. But just before sending it, she suddenly stops. She looks confused and unsure about her decision. After thinking for a few seconds, she deletes the email and quietly stares into space. A moment later, Jennifer packs her things and gets ready to leave the office. She picks up her flight tickets and grabs a few chocolate kisses from a jar before putting them into her bag. At the same time, on another floor of the same building, a man named Jay walks out of the washroom. While washing his hands, water accidentally spills all over his pants. He quickly panics and starts drying them with a hand dryer nearby. After fixing the problem, he leaves the restroom. Just then, Jennifer also steps out of her office. Both of them press the elevator button from different floors. Jennifer enters the elevator from the 49th floor, still lost in her thoughts. Meanwhile, Jay stands on another floor, checking his phone for signal. A few seconds later, the elevator reaches Jay's floor. Since he is a little far away, he quickly shouts and asks Jennifer to hold the door. Jennifer keeps the elevator open, and Jay rushes inside. He thanks her and presses the button for the basement floor. Jay notices Jennifer's Valentine-themed bag and jokingly says that she didn't need to bring him a Valentine's gift. Jennifer laughs and points at the wine bottle in his hand, saying that at least he came prepared with a bottle of wine. Jay smiles and explains that the wine is actually for a client because he just closed a business deal. He jokingly says he wanted to bring something classy, just like the client. Jennifer gives him a small smile. As the elevator slowly moves down, Jay notices a creepy drawing on the back wall. He jokes that the person who made it probably had serious problems. Jennifer looks at the sketch carefully and agrees that it definitely looks disturbing. But suddenly, the elevator shakes hard and comes to a complete stop in the middle of the building. Jennifer immediately gets nervous and asks what just happened. She starts wondering if they are trapped inside. Jay tries to stay calm and presses the emergency buttons, but nothing happens. Jennifer keeps checking her watch because she has a flight to catch. She tells Jay to press the alarm button. At first, Jay says maybe the elevator will start working again in a minute or two, but Jennifer insists. Jay presses the alarm button several times, yet there is still no response. Now even Jay starts looking worried. He guesses that maybe there is a power problem, but Jennifer quickly points out that the lights inside the elevator are still on. Jennifer quickly points out that it can't be a power problem because the lights inside the elevator are still working. Even the small TV screen is on and playing an advertisement for a fancy resort that makes the whole situation even stranger. Jay tries using force to open the elevator doors. Then Jennifer notices a security camera in one corner of the elevator. Both of them stand in front of it, waving their hands and shouting for help, hoping that someone is watching them. But sadly, nobody responds. Jennifer pulls out her phone and desperately tries to get some signal. She asks Jay which network he uses and whether he has any reception. Jay checks his phone and shakes his head. He says his phone barely works inside the building normally, and now they are already 4 floors underground, so getting signal here is almost impossible. Jay tells Jennifer that they should wait for a few minutes, because someone must have noticed the problem by now. He says there has to be some security staff in the building, even this late at night, but Jennifer looks really stressed. She says she can't stay trapped in here until Tuesday morning because she has an important flight to catch. Frustrated, she turns toward the camera again and starts waving for help. Seeing her panic, Jay softly asks if she's okay. Jennifer explains that she's only acting this way because of her flight. Jay then asks if she's claustrophobic. Jennifer says no, and asks him the same question. Jay quickly says he's not claustrophobic either. To distract themselves, Jay starts making small talk. He asks Jennifer which floor she works on, and she tells him she works on the 49th floor in public relations. She briefly talks about her company, and Jay says he knows it because the company owns several floors in the same building. Then Jay talks about his own job. He says he works as an accounting officer, but his company is nothing fancy. He jokingly says their company is so unimportant that even the phone system barely recognizes their name. Jennifer doesn't seem very interested, but Jay keeps trying to lighten the mood. Since he is new to the building, Jay asks if the elevator has ever stopped like this before. Jennifer says sometimes it makes strange noises, but it has never gotten stuck halfway before. She keeps nervously checking her watch again and again. After some time, Jay rolls a piece of paper into a tube and tries shouting through the speaker, hoping someone outside might hear them, but the sound barely goes anywhere. The elevator is completely soundproof. Now Jennifer starts getting truly desperate. She bangs on the walls and screams for help, but still nobody answers. Jay then realizes something scary. He wonders if they might actually be the last people left in the building tonight. A few moments later, Jay suddenly gets an idea. He starts jumping, trying to reach the ceiling of the elevator. Jennifer quickly joins him. Both of them remove a few outer layers of clothing so they can move more easily while trying to climb. Jay explains that most elevators usually have an emergency hatch on the roof. He bends down and lets Jennifer climb onto his shoulders. While helping her up, Jay jokes that maybe he should have become a cheerleader because he's surprisingly good at this. Jennifer laughs for the first time and tells him it's still not too late to follow his dream. Jennifer finally reaches the top of the elevator and carefully checks the ceiling. But after looking around, she realizes there's no escape hatch at all. Jay gets confused too and wonders what people are supposed to do during a real emergency. Jennifer angrily replies that this already is a real emergency. Frustrated and scared, she suddenly punches the ceiling, but ends up hurting her hand. Jay quickly helps her climb down and asks to see her hand. Jennifer says she's fine and tries to act tough, but it's obvious that she's slowly losing control of her emotions. Jennifer sadly says that her trip is probably ruined now. She lets out a deep sigh and asks Jay how much time has passed. Jay checks the time and tells her it has only been 15 minutes. Jennifer looks shocked because to her it already feels like an entire hour. And eventually a full hour really does pass. Both of them sit quietly inside the elevator without saying much. After a long silence, Jennifer softly admits that she feels like crying. Jay tries to cheer her up and jokingly says that she shouldn't cry because he doesn't even have tissues with him. Jennifer gives him an awkward look. Jay quickly explains that he's only trying to make the situation less stressful. But Jennifer suddenly loses her patience. Angry and frustrated, she starts cursing the elevator and yells toward the security camera, asking where all the security guards have disappeared to. Jay agrees with her because by now even he is confused about why nobody has come to help them. A little later, Jennifer finally introduces herself. Jay laughs and realizes they have been trapped together for so long without even knowing each other's names. He introduces himself as Jay and says it's nice to meet her, although not in a situation like this. Jennifer sarcastically jokes that she's having such a wonderful time in the elevator. Trying to continue the conversation, Jay asks if she comes here often. Jennifer pauses for a second and jokingly says she's not sure if she should even allow him to use a pickup line like that. Jay immediately feels embarrassed and apologizes, making Jennifer smile a little. After some time, Jennifer says she's extremely thirsty. Jay quickly takes out a bottle of water from his bag and offers it to her, but Jennifer refuses at first because she doesn't want to take his water. Jay tells her she has no choice because otherwise he'll have to open the wine bottle instead. Jennifer then asks if the wine bottle has a cap. Jay says yes, and Jennifer laughs, saying he won't believe it, but she actually has a wine opener inside her bag. Both of them burst into laughter for a moment, finally forgetting their stress for a few seconds. Jay offers the water again, and this time Jennifer accepts it. She carefully takes a small sip, but Jay tells her she can drink as much as she wants. In return, Jennifer offers him some chocolate kisses from her bag, and Jay happily takes a few. Trying to stay positive, Jay jokes about the worst possible situation, asking what if they remain stuck there for many more hours. Jennifer calmly replies that there are still almost 80 hours left until Tuesday. Jay looks surprised, but Jennifer tells him she already calculated it in her head. Jay makes another joke, but Jennifer quickly tells him not to joke too much because it's making her think about needing to pee. Unfortunately, after a while, the problem becomes real. Jennifer gets more and more uncomfortable because she badly needs to use the bathroom. Jay gently tells her that it's not really in her control anymore since they've already been trapped for almost 4 hours. He even jokes that soon he might have the same problem himself. Jennifer admits that she's a very private person and feels uncomfortable doing something like that near another person. She says she's not like those people who can casually be naked around others without caring. Jay understands her feelings and kindly tells her that he'll give her as much privacy as possible. He even suggests that she create her own little corner inside the elevator so she can feel a bit safer and more comfortable. Jennifer gets annoyed and asks Jay how he is supposed to give her privacy inside such a tiny elevator. Jay calmly tells her to stand in one corner while he moves to the opposite side. He even offers her his coat so she can protect her clothes. Jennifer immediately refuses and says she's definitely not going to pee on his coat. Then Jay notices the empty thermos bottle in her bag and suggests she use that instead. After thinking for a moment, Jennifer finally agrees. To make things less awkward, Jennifer tells Jay to close his eyes and cover his ears. Then she starts singing loudly to distract herself while trying to pee into the thermos bottle. At first, she struggles and can't do it because she feels too embarrassed. Jay softly tells her to imagine she's sitting in her own bathroom at home. After some effort, Jennifer finally manages to do it. Once it's over, Jennifer admits that it was one of the most embarrassing moments of her life. But Jay comforts her and says there's nothing embarrassing about it because they are both trapped together in the same situation. Jennifer then sadly realizes that she has officially missed her flight. Jay tries to cheer her up again and jokes that maybe she can try again next Valentine's Day. Jennifer laughs a little, but tells him honestly that his jokes are terrible at making her feel better. Trying to distract herself, Jennifer takes a screw from her bag and starts drawing on the elevator wall again. This time, she adds a girl to the creepy sketch already there. More hours pass inside the elevator. By now, the two of them slowly start getting used to each other. Jennifer jokingly tells Jay that he actually makes a pretty good elevator partner. Then she asks if he's married or has a girlfriend. Jay avoids the question and instead jokes that he's probably just known as the guy who is always late for work. Jennifer says people probably think the same thing about her too. too. Jay then asks Jennifer about the person she was planning to visit on her trip. He hopes talking about it might make her feel a little better. Jennifer quietly explains that it's a long and messy story. She says she wanted to surprise someone by showing up unexpectedly, but deep down, she's not even sure that person wanted to see her. As she says this, Jennifer becomes emotional and sad. Seeing the mood change, Jay opens the wine bottle and says maybe now is finally the right time to drink it. He explains that he still has another bottle for his client anyway. Jay tells Jennifer that they have spent enough time feeling sorry for themselves, so they might as well enjoy the wine. Jennifer takes a sip and admits that it actually tastes pretty good. She jokingly asks what exactly they are celebrating. Jay smiles and says maybe they don't have anything to celebrate yet, but they can still drink anyway. As even more time passes, the two of them start drawing funny sketches of each other on the elevator walls. Outside the building, the weather slowly gets worse, and suddenly the elevator lights flicker for a moment. Both of them immediately get nervous and wonder what just happened. Jay checks the time, and Jennifer impatiently asks him to tell her. Jay reveals that it's now 1 a.m. on Saturday night, which means the weekend has officially started. Jennifer jokingly says they should celebrate that too. Jay tells her not to worry because somehow they will get out of this elevator safely. Jennifer agrees and tries to stay positive. Then Jay suddenly becomes serious and asks if he can be completely honest with her. He admits that earlier he wasn't fully truthful. Jay explains that he had actually seen Jennifer many times before this night, but he didn't want to mention it because he was afraid she might think he was some kind of stalker. Jennifer looks surprised and asks where exactly he had seen her. Jay calmly explains that he mostly noticed her around the lobby and art gallery inside the building because they both work there. He also says that from what he observed, Jennifer always seemed like a positive and genuinely kind person, and he felt she deserved to know that. Jennifer smiles softly and says she appreciates his honesty. Jay once again tells her that she truly seems like a really good person. After that, Jennifer thanks Jay for being honest with her. A little later, both of them finally show each other the drawings they made inside the elevator. Jennifer looks at Jay's drawing and gets genuinely impressed. She laughs and says he actually did a really good job. She even takes a picture of it and jokes that if they somehow survive this situation, she might use his drawing as her phone wallpaper. After some time, Jennifer says she's getting extremely hungry. She starts talking about different delicious foods she wishes she could eat right now. But the more they talk about food, the hungrier they become. So both of them quickly decide to change the topic. Jay asks what she wants to talk about instead. He suggests topics like football, soccer, and cars, but Jennifer rejects every single one of them. Then Jay jokingly mentions relationships and robots just to make her laugh. Jennifer smiles and says, "All right then, let's talk about relationships." Jay quickly says he was only joking, but Jennifer insists because at this point they are simply trying to pass time and distract themselves from being trapped. Jennifer pulls out her phone and jokingly says she's going to record their conversation. Jay feels a little awkward about it, so Jennifer decides to go first. She starts sharing an embarrassing story from her school days about reading romantic novels with her friends. She admits that back then she used to feel shy talking about those things, but she and her friends secretly enjoyed reading those stories together. Jay playfully starts repeating dramatic lines like someone from a movie, making Jennifer laugh hard. She tells him to stop because he sounds way too convincing. Then Jennifer says it's Jay's turn to tell a story. At first, Jay says he doesn't really have one, but Jennifer jokingly tells him to just make something up to keep things interesting. So Jay starts telling a made-up story about a beautiful girl he works with on a project. He says he became very interested in her, but because they worked in an office, nothing exciting ever happened between them. Later, during an office outing, everyone starts drinking and having fun. According to Jay's story, the girl suddenly becomes much closer to him, and the situation turns awkward and emotional for him. As Jay continues the story, he slowly starts feeling embarrassed while telling it. Jennifer notices this and asks if maybe some parts of the story are actually true. Jay awkwardly admits that some feelings in the story were real, and he felt nervous talking about them. Realizing the conversation has become a little too personal, Jay immediately apologizes because he thinks he may have crossed a line. But Jennifer calmly tells him it's okay and that she appreciates his honesty. Then Jay softly admits that he would really like to kiss her. Jennifer becomes shy for a moment, but eventually she leans closer and the two share an emotional moment together. As they sit close to each other inside the elevator, Jay quietly tells Jennifer that she's beautiful and that he feels a strong connection with her. When Jay tells Jennifer that he could actually fall in love with her, Jennifer suddenly becomes uncomfortable. She slowly starts putting her clothes back on. Jay looks confused and asks what happened. He tells her he was only trying to understand how she feels. Jennifer takes a deep breath and explains that before getting trapped in the elevator, she was actually on her way to meet her ex-fiancé. She says she wanted to surprise him, fix their relationship, and maybe start her life over again with him. Jay quietly asks if she still plans to do that after everything that happened between them. Jennifer says yes. She tells him not to misunderstand the situation because what happened inside the elevator was only a moment of weakness. She still loves her fiancé. Jay clearly clearly struggles to understand this. Jennifer explains that real relationships need honesty, trust, and commitment. She admits that despite the stress, she enjoyed spending time with him, but that doesn't change her future plans. Jay asks why she wants to go back if the relationship was already causing her so much pain. Jennifer immediately stops him and says her personal life is none of his business. She reminds him that there is nothing serious between them. Jay quietly says maybe she's right. Then he jokingly says that once they finally escape this elevator, maybe he can take her out on a proper date someday. But Jennifer quickly shuts the idea down. She tells him that it will never happen because she wants to move on with her life and leave all of this behind. Jay says maybe they can just pretend none of this ever happened. Jennifer calmly replies that what happened between them was real and even special in its own way, but it still changes nothing. Then she jokingly tells him that at least now, he has a crazy story to tell people in the future. But instead of laughing, Jay suddenly becomes quiet and serious. He slowly starts putting his own clothes back on and says something strange. He says it's funny how they are trapped together inside such a tiny metal box, yet somehow they still feel very far apart. Jennifer looks confused and asks what he means. Jay says it's hard to explain, but being with her feels important to him. He admits that something about her makes him want to finally tell the truth. Then Jay suddenly reveals something shocking. He confesses that he was lying from the very beginning. He says he is not new to the building, he is not an accountant, and his real name is not even Jay. Jennifer immediately becomes nervous and asks what he's talking about. Then the man calmly says her full name, Jennifer Robbins. Jennifer freezes in shock because she never told him her last name. Now completely scared, she asks how he knows so much about her and why he knows all these personal details. After a short silence, the man finally reveals the truth. He says he is actually a security guard in the building, a guard who has been watching her for a very long time. He explains that security guards see everything. They are there before people arrive and still there after everyone leaves. They notice small habits, tiny details, and private moments, while nobody ever notices them in return. He quietly says that people like him are invisible, like ghosts. The man continues talking and says that being a security guard is one of the loneliest jobs in the world. He says nobody notices guards. People walk past them every single day without even looking at them. For years, he watched thousands of people come and go, but nobody ever cared that he even existed. Then one day, he saw Jennifer, and according to him, everything changed after that. He says he started noticing every little thing about her. Soon, he became obsessed. He claims that he knows her better than anyone else. He knows exactly what time she arrives at work every morning, always around 9 a.m. He knows how late she stays in the office, sometimes until 7 or 8 at night. Then, to Jennifer's horror, he pulls out his phone and shows her secret pictures he took of her without permission. He even reveals that one of the photos was taken earlier that same morning, while she was standing near the elevator. Jennifer stares at him in complete shock. She can't believe what she's hearing. The man calmly says that he watched everything she ever did, but she never once noticed him, not even for a second. Then he says something even more disturbing. He explains that maybe this was never just about watching her. Maybe it was fate. He believes they were meant to spend time together, and then he reveals the terrifying truth. He admits that the entire situation was planned by him from the start. The elevator was never broken. He intentionally trapped both of them there for the whole weekend. Every conversation, every moment, every emotional connection they shared happened because he carefully planned it all. Jennifer is horrified as she realizes none of this was an accident. The man slowly reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small key. He calmly tells her that if she wants to leave, she can leave right now. Then he opens the elevator control panel and unlocks the system. At that moment, Jennifer realizes the truth. She was never trapped by a malfunctioning elevator. She was trapped by him. Jennifer looks at him with fear and anger and asks how he could possibly do something so insane. The man admits that yes, maybe he is crazy, but he says he only wanted them to spend time together. Jennifer completely loses her patience. She grabs him by the collar and angrily screams that she's calling the police and that he's going straight to jail for what he did. The moment she says jail, his expression suddenly changes. Until now, he was calm, but now he looks terrified. He quickly says that he cannot go to jail. Panicking, he grabs the key again and suddenly stops the elevator once more. Jennifer becomes even more frightened. She rushes toward him and desperately tries to take the key away so she can restart the elevator. But during the struggle, something goes horribly wrong. Jennifer's foot accidentally hits the key inside the control panel, and the metal key suddenly snaps in half. Now the elevator completely shuts down again, and this time, they are truly trapped. This time, even Jay looks truly scared because now the elevator is actually broken for real. The key is snapped, the system is dead, and there's no backup plan left. For the first time, he realizes the situation is completely out of control. But Jennifer doesn't waste a second. Filled with anger and fear, she suddenly attacks him. Inside the tiny elevator, the two start fighting violently. Jennifer grabs the metal thermos bottle and smashes it against Jay's head. Jay immediately falls to the floor unconscious. Jennifer stands there breathing heavily, shaking shaking in fear. For a moment, she thinks it's finally over. Slowly, she gathers courage and carefully walks toward his body to check him. But suddenly, Jay wakes up. Before Jennifer can react, he grabs her by the hair and violently slams her head against the floor. Jennifer instantly blacks out. Hours later, Jennifer slowly wakes up with a terrible headache. Her vision is blurry, and she sees Jay sitting quietly in one corner of the elevator, talking to himself like nothing happened. In a calm voice, Jay starts explaining his twisted thoughts. He says that if you truly want to connect with someone, you need the perfect place and enough time alone together without distractions. According to him, that's exactly why he trapped Jennifer there. He says that over the weekend, they practically lived through an entire relationship inside the elevator. They met, talked, got close, shared emotional moments, fought, and even broke apart, all inside one small room. Jennifer angrily tells him that he's not going to escape punishment because eventually someone will come looking for them. But Jay calmly replies that nobody is coming. Jennifer mentions the other security guards, but Jay explains everything. He says there were only 3 guards working over the weekend. He lied to the first guard and offered to cover his shift. Then he did the same thing with another guard named Eddie, who happily disappeared to spend time with his new girlfriend. That means nobody will check the building until Tuesday morning. Jennifer finally realizes the horrifying truth. She is trapped alone with Jay for days. Jay then says something even more disturbing. He says now he has to decide what to do with Jennifer because he likes her, but he also doesn't want to go back to jail. Jennifer looks at him in horror and calls him a monster. Jay immediately denies it. He claims he never forced her to do anything and only created a situation. But Jennifer screams that he literally kidnapped her. Suddenly, Jay loses control. He violently punches the elevator wall and shouts that he did not kidnap her. Then he starts smashing the thermos bottle against the walls over and over again in frustration. Jennifer sits there terrified, watching his mental state fall apart. A little later, Jay tries distracting himself by opening Jennifer's bag and looking through her belongings. He casually puts on one of her shirts and finds a small box containing a cigar cutter and lighter. Acting strangely calm, he lights a cigar and blows smoke toward Jennifer while sarcastically thanking her. He even offers her some, but Jennifer moves away in fear and disgust. More hours pass inside the dark elevator. Then Jay suddenly apologizes. In a softer voice, he says he never wanted to scare her. He even asks if maybe there's still a chance for them to make things work somehow. He points toward an advertisement inside the elevator, showing a happy couple at a tropical island resort. Jay quietly admits that he once imagined taking Jennifer there someday. Then suddenly he gets an idea. Jay grabs the thermos and smashes the elevator lights. While breaking them, he notices that the ceiling panel above also doesn't seem fully secured. Hope finally appears. Jay climbs up and starts using the thermos to force open part of the top panel. After struggling for some time, he finally manages to loosen it enough to create a small opening. Jennifer immediately feels relieved because this could finally be their way out. Jay says that if Jennifer helps boost him upward, he can climb out and unlock the elevator from outside. But Jennifer quickly says she's too weak and instead asks him to help her climb out first. Jay hesitates because he doesn't trust her anymore. Jennifer then carefully tries to calm him down. She says she'll do whatever he wants and promises she won't call the police after they escape. She even tells him that maybe after everything they went through together, they could still go on a date someday. Right now, she says, she only wants to get out alive. After a long moment of hesitation, Jay finally agrees to help Jennifer escape. He gives her a boost, and Jennifer climbs through the opening at the top. Once she reaches the top, Jay points toward a small ladder attached to the side wall and tells her she can use it to reach the elevator door on the upper floor. For a second, it looks like Jennifer might actually escape. But then, as she starts moving away, she suddenly turns back and shows Jay her middle finger. Jay completely loses his mind. Furious, he starts screaming and throwing things around inside the elevator. In anger, he even shouts that he should have killed her from the beginning. Then suddenly, he gets another idea. Jay ties several pieces of clothing together to make a rope. He throws it upward, hooks it onto something above, and starts climbing out after Jennifer. Meanwhile, Jennifer is desperately trying to reach the elevator exit before Jay catches her. But Jay quickly climbs the side ladder and chases after her. Jennifer finally reaches the elevator door and is just about to open it when Jay suddenly jumps at her from behind. Both of them crash back down into the elevator shaft and fall hard into the elevator again. The impact knocks both of them unconscious. Sometime later, Jennifer wakes up first. Realizing she needs help fast, she starts a small fire inside the elevator, hoping the smoke will trigger an emergency alarm system. And luckily, it works. At the same time, Jay slowly wakes up and crawls toward her, but Jennifer quickly ties him up before he can attack again. Jay warns her that her plan won't save her, but Jennifer ignores him. Still terrified and emotional, Jennifer records a video on her phone explaining everything that happened. In the video, she says she was kidnapped and trapped inside the elevator by a security guard. While tied up, Jay finally opens up about his past. He says he once had a normal life, a proper job, and even a girl who loved him, but she died in a car accident. He survived, but after that, his entire entire life fell apart. Now lonely, broken, and desperate, he became obsessed with Jennifer because she reminded him of happiness and life. Even after everything he has done, Jennifer starts tearing up while listening to him. Hours later, something unexpected finally happens. Another security guard named Eddie suddenly arrives at the building with his girlfriend because he wants to show her around. When Eddie notices Jay is missing, he checks the security cameras and discovers the elevator situation. He immediately speaks through the elevator microphone. The moment Jennifer hears another person's voice, she feels hope again, but Jay hears it too. While Eddie tries opening the elevator from outside using tools, Jay secretly manages to free himself from the ropes. Then he tricks Eddie into throwing down the elevator key. The moment Eddie starts climbing inside the elevator, Jay suddenly reactivates the system. The elevator violently moves, and Eddie gets caught between the doors in a horrifying accident. Jennifer watches in complete shock and terror. After that, Jay attacks Jennifer again, knocks her unconscious, and locks her inside the trunk of a car. Later, Jay changes his clothes and starts deleting security footage to hide all evidence. But Eddie's girlfriend wakes up and starts asking questions about where Eddie went. Jay lies to her at first, but eventually kills her too and dumps her body down the elevator shaft. Then Jay drives Jennifer far away to a remote, empty area. Believing she is still unconscious, he prepares to get rid of her for good. But suddenly, Jennifer wakes up. She quickly attacks Jay, steals the car, and escapes. While driving away, Jennifer notices one of Jay's cigars inside the car. She pauses for a moment and then suddenly makes a decision. Instead of running away forever, she turns the car around. Jennifer speeds directly toward Jay and crashes the car into him at full speed. Jay gets badly injured as broken glass cuts deep into his body. Then Jennifer calmly lights one of the cigars, takes a slow puff, and throws it into a nearby dumpster filled with fuel and garbage. Within seconds, huge flames rise into the air. Jennifer watches the fire with a cold smile as Jay burns in the flames, and with this terrifying scene, the story finally comes to an end.